Hi folks, welcome back to the Tabletop's Edge, and today is the first anniversary of this channel. And it's kind of hard to believe it's been an entire year since that first video was uploaded. And my goal back then, and continues to be, to add some interesting, entertaining, hopefully some informative content to what is already a really vibrant wargaming community on YouTube. And the response has been overwhelming, quite frankly, very humbling. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to watch the videos and provide some great feedback. Hopefully you're finding them informative, getting a little something out of them. And it's really kind of motivating when you get that the kind of response that I have gotten from my videos to continue to want to produce quality content. So look forward to plenty more of what you've seen over the past year in the years ahead. Now, several viewers have asked some questions about the game table you've seen in a lot of the videos, as well as some questions about just kind of the general gaming space. And I thought it might be neat on this first anniversary to give you all a short tour of my game space and a closer look at the game table in question. In fact, it's probably going to be a bit of a mini review of the table, as you'll see. So we'll take a few minutes here and give you a little peek behind the curtain at where all the magic happens. Now, the house we are in currently, we built 2 years ago. The wife was kind of getting tired of going up and down the stairs constantly in our old two-story house. So we decided to build a ranch style home to get all of our living space on one floor. And here in Northern Kentucky, the ranch homes come with basements. And you just simply cannot beat a ranch layout for basement footprint. So the wife and I made a little deal. She gets the entire main level. She can do whatever she wants up there, and I get the basement. So I have proceeded to try and turn this into sort of my gaming sanctuary over the past couple of years, and actually it started during the building process. It's still a work in progress, as you will see, but over the past couple of years, it has seen plenty of gaming, and hopefully in the years to come, we're going to see even more. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and get started and show you guys the place. And we'll start as you come down the stairs into the basement. First thing you're going to come across is the dartboard in the dart cabinet there on the wall. And then you can see I've got some built-in bookcases along this back wall here for my library. Now, I haven't really organized the library. One of these days I'll sit down and get the books properly organized. But you can see this first shelves here. These are pretty much my Napoleonic collection. I've got a few of my Napoleonic era games kind of hidden in there. Next to that is the World War II section of the library, and you can see up top here I've got my OCS collection. As we continue down the wall, we've got gas fireplace with a blower, which is excellent for the winter months. Really puts out a lot of heat and keeps it nice and cozy down here. And you probably have seen these little guys on top of the mantle in the background of a lot of the videos. In addition to wargaming, my other big hobby is that I am a diehard Cincinnati Reds baseball fan. So baseball and wargaming, that's what gets me out of bed every morning. And you can see I've got a couple of, just a couple of small models from my 1/72nd scale aircraft collection. The statues are replicas of the player statues that they have been erecting out in front of Great American Ballpark over the last several years. We have the catcher Ernie Lombardi from the 30s and 40s teams here, Pete Rose with his iconic headfirst slide into third base, and over here we've got Joe Morgan just starting off to steal second. Above the mantle, the picture here is a signed print of Nicholas Trudgeon's painting The Guardian. And I like the art style quite a bit. I think it's a beautiful painting, and the story really kind of spoke to me. So I thought this would look good over the mantle. If you are unfamiliar with the story behind this picture, they've actually written a book. It's called A Higher Call by Adam Makos. And it basically tells the story of what's going on here. So if you're unfamiliar with it, I highly suggest you look it up. I think it's just an excellent example of courage and chivalry in warfare. So I'd like to feature that prominently in the room here. Continue on down, we've got the other two built-ins here. Again, we've got some more games and books scattered amongst the shelves. And then that takes us to the first of the game tables here. This is the Big Green Monster. It's a home-built table. It measures 6 feet across by 10 feet in length. It actually was built by a gaming buddy of mine, Alan, that I would game with many years ago. He passed away rather suddenly about 15 years ago. And his wife was going through kind of trying to get rid of his collection of things, and she needed to get rid of the table. I had some space at the old house at the time, and volunteered to take it, and assured her that it would continue seeing gaming use, and indeed it has. Primarily miniatures games over the years. You can see underneath here, all the boxes there are terrain and miniatures, both painted and unpainted. Right now, I've got Last Blitzkrieg set up on top of the table. I had to move the game. This is what I'm currently going through the playthrough that you're watching now on the channel. It was on my other game table, but I needed to clear the top of that, so I was able to make the transfer from this table over to this table without any mishaps, fortunately. And just some lighting in the back there that usually helps out with the videos. Now, the good news about moving Last Blitzkrieg to the Big Green Monster here is that by freeing up the other table, it increases the chances of it increases the likelihood of me being able to leave this up and get deeper into the campaign scenario that we're going through than I originally thought. So we might actually be able to make it all the way through the full 16 turns of the game, rather than just getting through the first, or reaching a point to where the German sudden death has kind of, that window of opportunity is closed. So the table here, it's just covered with felt. It's simply a plywood top. It's in 3 pieces, screwed together with a metal frame. And like I said, this has seen a lot of miniatures gaming over the years. It also is where I will put my larger board games. My World in Flames playthrough was on this table. The collector's edition stretches out, pretty much fills the full 10 feet in length, but it only takes up about half of the width. So there's still plenty of room for World in Flames on this. Other big games that I've had up on here would be The Greatest Day from MMP's Grand Tactical series. That is a little bit of a tight fit, believe it or not, both in length and width, but it does fit, and turns out this is a nice sized table for that. So that's the big table. As we come around the corner here, I've got, this is sort of my work map of the world. My day job, if you will, is an airline pilot. So I fly 767s, freighters primarily, but also some charter passenger flights kind of all over the world. And I've just been using the map to kind of keep track of where I have been over the years, and have that on display there. Below that, I've got an old bookshelf, small bookshelf. This will probably get replaced. This is what I meant when I said the area is kind of a work in progress. Probably get a slightly bigger shelf here, but you can see I've got my coin games here, a lot of GMT stuff, and some assorted random games on there. Got a nice walkout here, so we get plenty of natural daylight in the daytime. Here is our Reds room, where we kick back and watch the Reds games. And yes, these are a couple of business class seats off of an airliner. These came off of an old Capital Cargo 727. And these are what we call supernumerary seats. So these would be behind the flight deck. If you were deadheading on the plane, this is where you would sit. They are fully functional. They recline. We've even got our tray tables in the armrest for you, so it's a nice place to kind of kick back, put the feet up on the ottoman there, and watch the games. Over here we have the snack bar, if you will. A little mini fridge there, keeps the drinks nice and cold. And just a little side table here. This, if we have a large game on the main table here, a lot of times we'll put charts or displays, reinforcement tracks, stuff like that on this table. If we don't need that, then this is usually where guys will set their plates with their food and whatnot. My wife is a huge Galaga fan, so we have our 1980s arcade machine here. And then the centerpiece of the room is this custom game table, which was built by Game On Tables. And let's take a few minutes here to take a closer look at it, show you some of the features. But I will tell you that I am absolutely 100% over the moon satisfied with this table. It has really been a godsend over the last couple of years, and I'll show you why. The table in this configuration with this tabletop is large enough to handle any 4-map games or smaller, using the standard 22-inch by 34-inch maps like you see in MMP games and GMT games. For instance, Last Blitzkrieg. Last Blitzkrieg is a 4-mapper, and I can get the 4-map layout in the rectangular shape on this table with a little margin on each side, which is nice. And if it's any bigger than 4 maps, then it's going to go on the big green monster back here. And believe it or not, even though this is a table that is 6 foot by 10 foot, I actually own 2 games that will not fit on this table. That's Case Blue from the Gamers OCS series. It will fit lengthwise, but the width of the table, particularly when you have the, I think it's the map F on there, it actually overhangs the side by about 1.5 feet. The other game is right here. It's Where Eagles Dare from MMP's Grand Tactical series. It's a skinny map when they're all laid out, but it actually overhangs the end of the table by, I think, about 1.5 feet. So it's plenty wide for it. A little annoying that I can't get something like that on the tabletop here, because the map layout ends up being something like 11.5 feet in length. So for the most part, though, most of your typical war games are going to fit on this tabletop here. Things like Totaler Krieg. I can even get World in Flames, the collector's edition, on here, and the small gray table if I change the layout. And I think I showed everyone that in one of my WIF videos. Now, the overall table dimensions on this, it is just over 4.5 feet in width by just over 6 feet in length. I think it's something like 74 inches long by 50 inches in width. Solid wood construction. Amish craftsmen put this thing together. Again, it's from Game On Tables. I will put a link to their website in the description to the video. And if you are thinking about getting a custom game table, I would strongly recommend you visit their website and check them out. They have a number of standard styles or models of game tables that come in all different sizes, but each of the tables you see on their website is fully 100% customizable. So the size of this table is actually a custom size that I worked with them. And you can see here, there are several accessories available for it. It uses a rail system. So just up under, I don't know if we can see this, but just up under here is a metal rail, and the accessories all slide into that metal rail. So we have an example of a cup holder here, and these things are awesome. They keep the beverages off of the table surface. You don't have to worry about spills ruining any of the games. The cup inserts come out, and then the cup holder itself slides along the track underneath there. You can see they use screws. There's a gap in the middle of each of the sides, and you simply hook the screw heads over that rail, and you can slide it anywhere along there, allowing you to keep your ice cold beverages easily at hand. They also, if you're in the mood for a little wine, they also have cup holders that accommodate stemmed glassware. Now, there are a couple of other accessories that I have for this, so let me show you how those work. In addition to the cup holders, I also ordered 4 of these little shelves, if you will. Again, they hook on the exact same way as the cup holders do. You can see there's a little area here for any bits or playing pieces. The slots here work really well for standing up cards if you have if you're playing a card-driven game at all. And I find that these come in nice and handy. I also ordered a couple of these bits boxes, for lack of a better term. You can again hook those on, and they all slide anywhere you need them to be on all 4 sides of the table. Also, at each end of the table, I have a couple of very large storage drawers. In this one storage drawer, this is basically anything I need to assist with the game. You see a lot of pens in there, some extra dice, markers, chips, tape measures if we're playing some miniatures games, erasers, what have you. I have an identical sized drawer on the far end of the table here, and this contains a screen that can set up like so. I don't know if I'm going to be able to quite get this. Let's see. But we have a screen here, so if you've got any laptops or a book perhaps with some information you didn't necessarily want any of the other players to see, you can set that screen up right there. And to give you an idea of the size of this drawer, again, it's another nice, fairly deep drawer, good size, and all of the accessories, including the cup holders, have this nice felt backing that keeps them from scratching any of the wood. And now I'll reveal the game vault. This actually, it is a game table in the fact that it has an actual gaming vault. And let's take a look at that. Now there are 3 leaves that form the top of the table here, and they provided a tool to assist in getting the leaves out. Just a little suction cup, just enough to open or lift up the corner, get your fingers under it, and the leaves come off, revealing the game vault below. Let's take a look at what it looks like once we've got all the leaves off. And here it is with all of the leaves off, and you have the game vault revealed in its entirety. You can see what we've got here is basically the way our Empires and Arms game left off with at the end of our session Saturday night. I'll probably talk about this in a short little video as well shortly here, but you can see there is a liner to the game vault, and Game On offers 2 different options. You can either go with a felt liner or a speed cloth liner. I went with the speed cloth liner here. Cincinnati Reds red, of course, couldn't have it any other way. It's a fairly deep vault, as you can see, and it's deeper than normal because when I was envisioning this, I was thinking about potentially having some smaller minis games that would be played here, and I wanted to be able to place the leaves back on top of the table with enough room to have the minis still standing underneath. So it created not any problems, but it created some issues that I certainly had not really thought about in the design process, but the folks at Game On Tables were on top of it. They used their knowledge and expertise over the years to provide a lot of suggestions to me through the course of the design. And again, you can customize the height of the table, you can customize the depth of the game vault, the style of the legs, the color, you name it. And again, their communication was outstanding throughout the process. It was I think it was a good 4 or 5 months from the time I first contacted them to begin the process of getting the table specifications put together until they delivered it. And they did hand deliver it. I think they are out of northwestern Indiana, I think. They did, one of their delivery options was kind of like a white glove delivery service. And the Amish craftsman who actually built the table showed up one day with their entire family. It was quite an event. They poured out of a 10, 12 passenger van that they had hired to drive them. I think they were going to see some relatives in Pennsylvania, and they were making about 3 or 4 deliveries along the way. The carpenter got out along with his brother and his wife and their sons and daughters. Everybody grabbed a piece of the table. They brought it in. They assembled it right here in the game room. Super nice folks. And like I said, I would, if I were in the market for a game table, I would definitely, for another game table, I would definitely go back to them and talk to them. It's practically heirloom quality furniture here. I actually think it's nicer than our dining room table upstairs, but don't tell my wife. She's actually happy with it as well. She loves the table. So it was not a cheap table, though. I will caution you on that. I think this table, as a matter of fact, I know this table was more expensive than both of our living room couches upstairs. So this was, I think this table, custom, all of the features, including all the accessories, everything tax tag title on the rim and out the door, came in right about, I want to say $5,300. But again, it's a big table. It's 6 feet long by 4.5 feet wide, plus a little. They've got plenty of other smaller tables, obviously at a lower price point. But again, contact them, let them know what you're thinking about, and I guarantee you they're going to have some great suggestions for you. One last feature to mention is they have basically a dam here. This is a piece that fits in, and as you can see, prevents dice from rolling under it. And what it does is it can give you a multi-level playing surface if you need one. I've actually used the table in this configuration a couple of times for some games where the main playing area was down here, and then we had some common charts and displays for all of the players that we were able to place up here on the top portion of the table, and we were able to keep those components separate from what was actually in the game at the time. And other than that, the chairs, these are just these are some Lazy Boy office chairs straight from Staples. Nothing too special about them, but I wanted to make sure that since I planned on sitting at this table for several hours straight, we need to make sure we've got something that's comfortable, that's not going to end up killing your back while you're here. So what I essentially have with this table is not just one table, but it's really kind of given me 2 tables. You can see with the game vault, and how I use this usually is if I've got a game that's going to be a multi-session game with the local game group, if it will fit in the vault, I will use the vault for the game, and then once we're done playing that session, I bring the leaves back out. I put the 3 leaves on top, and you'll see the table as you do in most of the videos here. That allows me to use the table for gaming, filming, whatever, in between sessions. When the local group gets together again, I just merely pull the leaves off, and we've got our game ready to go from where we had it last time. And then, of course, we've got the big green monster over there in the corner, which will allow me to leave large projects set up for a very extended period of time, such as the last Blitzkrieg game that we are currently doing the playthrough of here. So that's going to wrap it up for the tour down here. It's my little slice of heaven. Hope you've enjoyed the tour. And again, I can't recommend Game On tables any higher. So check them out, please, if you are thinking of getting a game table for your space at home. Thanks for watching today. Appreciate all of your support over the past year, and stay tuned because there's plenty more to come. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.